What's happening, guys? Welcome to our short presentation of our Mercedes Sprinter 2016 that we bought a couple of years ago, and we started building it. The build is not done yet, but it's a work in progress. We've started traveling on it, and it's, to be honest, it's pretty fun. We don't have any faults with it so far. So yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Just a small burn from the electrics. Now we're going to show you what we got on the bonnet. Because we do a lot of off-road parking and next to the lakes and stuff like that, we wanted to be sure that we can deflate and inflate the wheels. So yeah, we install a compressor under the bonnet. If you want to come and see it. So under the bonnet we install a 120 psi compressor, just because whenever you're stuck in the mud, sometimes it's easier if you deflate the wheels a little bit so you can actually have a better grip. So you can build the rack myself. It's pretty sturdy, I can say. So yeah, basically has a button, has a long cable that it goes front and back, can reach. And then I got a switch button here that puts air on. So yeah, happy Larry. So as you can see, we had to equip the vehicle with proper wheels. We got this black Rhino rims and BF Goodrich tires, which they're 255, 65, 17-inch wheel. Never had a problem. I think their warranty is about between 35,000 to 50,000 miles. So I think we put only like 6,000 or 7,000 on it. So yeah, we're pretty chuffed. I wouldn't recommend it if it's for saving fuel. It doesn't really work. I think we do around 22-ish miles per gallon on the big bus when it's fully loaded with all the water on board and all the stuff. So, but it's about the comfort, the safety, and looking cool too. Also, we installed open windows. They are Mercedes Sprinter stock, but they come with a window in the middle. They're single glazed. They're not the best for the winter times and all that stuff, but we have insulation inside that keeps us pretty warm. They do tend to sweat a lot, like condensation and all that stuff inside, but we sorted out. We have like a water vacuum thing and it works spot on. So yeah, we installed one window on this side, and then we have the typical Campervan motorhome window, which is double glazed, and it comes with fly net and his own blind in the back, right? So also we've installed two outside doors. Normally on these vans, they tend not to install the outdoor lights. On this side of the van, you don't usually use it, but we wanted to install it just because for safety. As I previously mentioned, we do tend to camp, do wild camping and stuff like that. So before we go to bed, we like to do another one checkup, or if we don't feel completely safe, we're just gonna leave the lights on, because I think they can run miles. I mean, hours and hours before the battery goes flat. Right, so it's more safety and comfort more than utility of it, but they work pretty fine with us. Here on the back, we have the water inlet, water access. we have 100 liters fresh water, 75 gray tank. So yeah, the freshwater placement is right under between the wheelbase and the gray water. We have it right here with an electric valve right underneath it. It's pretty narrow, that it can be controlled from inside to be released to the proper places and all that. Now, the back side. We have a wheel carrier we install here for the spare wheel. Just because of the size of it, we cannot fit it underneath it, so we had to install one of the carriers. It is a pretty heavy wheel, but it looks good and it gives it that safety in case of flat. Also, this is the new project. This is going to be a push bike rack, which is going to slide with the door. Obviously, this is the most common used door in the backside. So the push bikes are going to be hanged over here. It's still work in progress. I'll keep you updated with that. I've installed a tow bar just because I'm a motorcycle rider. I like to get a trailer with me so I can get my bike, my son's bike, so we can go off-road a little bit and just go a bit crazy. Also, we've installed the vehicle comes with a reversing lights. These are more rear floodlights, just in case we need to use the backside somehow, or we're reversing to a very dark place and we can't see that much with those. So yeah, we put these ones on, we got the reverse camera, and all good. Also on top, we got the anti-slippery mug rails that you chuck under the wheels if you ever get stuck. So we never used it before. We haven't go that wild so far, so it's all good so far. But we have it there if we need it. They're easy accessible from the top hatch. We have a sky on the ceiling that it's 500 per 700, so you can easily come out and unscrew the bolts and have them out in 10 minutes or less. So on the left hand side, we have the onshore connector 220. We never get to use it just because we have a big battery bank and it's pretty decent, so we never had an issue. I only plugged it in to check it out and all that stuff, but in 2 years I think I only plugged it once or twice, so happy bunny. Also, we have the Fiamma F80S, which is the awning that I had to adapt just because on the roof we have 640 watts solar panels that they take quite a lot of space. So the factory connection rails and stuff like that, they didn't fit. And because I didn't want to change the configuration of the panels, I had to come up with the plates on top. That was not that hard of a job. It was more like mind thinking how I'm going to do it and all that stuff, but they turned out brilliant. We already have a few good miles with it. Over a year and something we installed the awning. We never had an issue. The only downside, it's because it sticks outside a little bit. I just need to be a bit extra careful whenever I'm driving through trees and stuff like that. And the fact that it's whistling slightly when you're on the highway and stuff like that. Probably most of the awning would do that, but I wouldn't know because this is the only one that I got installed. So yeah, we're pretty happy with it. It's a 4.2 meters length and it stretches, I think, 2.5 meters, which is absolutely fantastic on the summer days when you need a bit of shade and all that stuff. It's absolutely fantastic. It was a great investment. Right, so on the sliding door, we got the same. We have a standard window, single glazed, with an opening just because we have the kitchen placed right here. So whenever we're cooking, we're just opening slightly the window, and with the Air Max extractor fan, there's no smell like cantina inside the van. We always cook. We tend to cook as much as we can inside. Daddy does the barbecues. The kids loves it, so mommy does the cooking and all that, all the soups and the stews that we need, we're cooking inside. So this is basically the outside. I'm gonna show you the inside now. Follow me. As you can see, this is an unfinished build. We had to build this kitchen unit just because last year we decided last minute to do NC500 and the van was still maybe 30%. So I'll build this in probably a day. I had to come up with where we store the fridge and the goodies and how we're gonna install the Dometic double burner and all that stuff. So yeah, For now, this is gonna do, but I'm planning to change it to make it from like proper material, like plywood and all that stuff. This is the fridge. It's Alpicol 55 liters, which is a fridge freezer. Come a little bit closer. And it works fantastic. This is the freezer and this is the tiny fridge. Obviously, when we travel, we don't tend to take too much food that it can go to waste. So we combine one with the other, and we always have supermarkets and all that stuff to store more, right? We've never been off-road or isolated from the world more than 2 or 3 days, so we have enough to get for those 2 or 3 days. It has its own latch on the side. I've installed both of them, so on brakes or anything like that, it just stays on firmly, right? So, and on the entry or the exit, we have all our electrical panels. So we have our 220 inverter here. That we have a few plugs around the. We don't actually use that much household appliances and stuff like that. So that's why we only got like a 2 kilowatts inverter. I think it's more than enough for what we use. Maybe a drill, maybe as we use down in France, air fryer and stuff like that. But we actually don't use that much, the 220. But we have it just in case, right? So this is an inverter, have it all installed, works beautifully. We have our head unit, which we can play music inside instead of trying to utilize the head unit from the vehicle, which you could discharge the battery and get us in difficult situations. We just decided to install a different one over here so we can have YouTube and listen to the music or whatever we want to do, right? This is our Wi-Fi, it's a Netgear Nighthawk, I think. We bought it secondhand. We had a couple of issues with the configuration on it and stuff like that, but we made it work, and now we have a Smarty SIM on it. It kind of works nearly everywhere, but when it doesn't, we're just gonna get a what's the company's called? Yeah, a different network. So we're trying to get internet with that. The fact that we're well camping a lot, we added an extra safety, you could say. So we come up with this. So basically, once I press this button, there's a relay in the back. There are actually 4 relays in the back of the board here, which triggers all the lights around the van, and they start flashing. Basically, when I press this, there's an air horn on the ceiling that it starts making a big noise and flashing. Right? Ready? Sorry neighbors, hope you see the video, and we apologize, but we're trying to show the world what we've done here. So yeah, that's our panic button, you can call it. I'm just gonna switch off the lights. In case somebody approaches the van and we don't feel safe, instead of me going outside and try to wrestle them or fight them or whatever, hopefully this will scare them away a little bit, and because it's noisy, it's gonna attract other people and stuff like this. Also, forgot to mention, up here, let me see if I can get it, we got a Air Max fan, which is brilliant. Never had an issue with it. It did overheat a little bit on the hot summers that we had in Croatia, but in a couple of hours, not using it, it just cooled off and it worked perfectly. Now we're gonna close the door, as we haven't finished we finished the installation, but we didn't finish it. This is our wee door. It comes with a fly net and the privacy curtain on it. So on the right hand side of the vehicle, we got the same privacy curtains and fly nets, which they turn out to be super useful when it's very hot outside and you need to blow a bit of wind around the van and you got flies and all that. They are very, very effective, but it's a pain in the butt to remove them from the back. Then you just need to, but they work well. Okay. Front side, it's kind of basics for traveling seats because you have 2 young kids. But the way we do it, I've used a bit more space, and these are the seats that I've used from we have a Mercedes Vito 16 plate, I think. Yeah, there's the new version. So these are foldable. They can come out and everything, right? They're very comfortable to travel, and they are the same color and everything. So the only downside it's that they have these that I'll need to remove at some point. We kind of bump into it a few times, but the rest of it are absolutely fine. They don't give us any hard life or anything like that. And this is basically the adult area where we got a tiny wee table here. It's kind of the typical table. So we can put it here. My missus works a lot with the... Hi, missus. She works, she does cybersecurity. Now I remember it. And she needs to work a lot with a computer, programming and all that stuff. So yeah, this is her spot. That's her spot, and she stays there. She's quite happy with her coffee or mug of wine or whatever it is, right? So yeah, when we're traveling, the table comes off, and the kids, they have their own tablet here, a distraction for long rides and stuff like that. As we said, we don't really promote distraction, virtual distractions and stuff like that. So they have their own toys and they play games between them, and they're pretty happy, right? But this is just in case of. Also in front, we have the privacy curtain. We need to work out a little bit more on this, but this was provisional when we went to do NZ500, and we kind of left it there. We didn't change it, so yeah. It works all fine. We just need to get blackout curtains and the ones that are thermal and all that stuff. But yeah, pretty much the privacy that we need. Always they go around. Everything gets shut. Even got a privacy thingy for this. Mrs. maneuvering the camera. Not that good. Not that good. But anyway, yeah. Nearly dropped it. Cool. Space saving cupboard. This is another provisional. We're gonna change it. We're gonna make it a bit more nicer. But yeah, so far, this is what I came up with, and it has been amazing. We managed to store it, but obviously you can see that it's unfinished product. But we don't travel that heavy. We kind of calculate whatever clothes we need, and we just throw them around and stuff them here, and happy days, right? Yeah, so this is the storage for all 4 of us, and it works pretty well so far. Here on top, we have another storage place, which the same is going to be replaced at some point, which is pretty spacious. It kind of covers the whole cabin area. So yeah, I still need to finish the roof, the ceiling, to put a couple of bits, but I'm so lazy these days. I don't want to do it. So yeah, this is the front cabin. Pretty spacious for 2 adults, 2 kids. We actually had 4 adults and a whole bunch of kids inside playing and jumping and all that, and it was fun. It was actually pretty nice and toasty and accommodating everybody, and everybody was happy. So yeah. Hello to our tiny wee lovely bathroom. Foldable sink with hot and cold water to brush your teeth and wash your mug in the morning. Foldable back. Threadfold toilet, the standard typical one with cassette on the side. We didn't want to cut another hole in the panel, so we can put it on the other side. So inside is pretty convenient. We don't spill anything from it, so it's actually pretty nice. As you can see from the beginning, our tambour door worked very nice and keeps the water away. 60 by 60 shower tray at the bottom, which collects the water perfectly as it should. And we have this wee beautiful ergonomic dirty shower, which it doesn't utilize that much water. So yeah, we can shower normally. We can have, I don't know, 10 showers, 15 showers and stuff like that. But yeah, it's brilliant. It's fantastic. We got a whole bunch of mirrors because the missus needs to do her thing. So the only place she can use is this. She doesn't really do that often, but whenever she does, I build a commodity for herself just to be nice, and she can do the things in the bathroom, not leave all her stuff all around it. So yeah, designated area for makeup, bathroom. Happy days. This is the bathroom. This mirror, it's actually that's why it's a bit blurry. A vinyl mirror, so just to gain a bit of space, but it works well. We do have a lot of space, even for me, because I'm a bit more chubby than the rest of the tripulation in this starship. Yeah, tumbler door works well. No jittery, no vibration, no nothing. So yeah. Our rear windows, we isolate them with this homemade curtains that me and the missus we came up with. Basically is the bubble insulation, and we wrapped it in cloth and we put this suckers on it. We kind of cut it to the same shape as the window. So we just go here, put them on, one each side, and they stay perfect. We got both of them, one here, one there, and it's terminating the light from the outside perfectly, and we got complete privacy. Also, we have this double glaze that I showed previously, the window outside, where we have the same a mosquito net and the privacy one. Happy days. So now we're gonna move to the back to show you where I have the electrics in the water. Both of them, they're located in each, they're isolated one from the other. Electrics on the left side of the vehicle, left hand side of the vehicle, and the water on the right hand side. And I'll show you right now how it's done. Under the right bench, we got a water system, which is pretty easy accessible, I would say. We just remove the pillows. We'll remove the sliding bit. Ta-da! So this is our water system, which includes a 22 liters chlorifier, Sureflow water pump with expansion vessel, and his own expansion vessel from the chlorifier, right? So basically, let me see if I can turn this around. There we go. So basically, when we drive, the engine fluid passes through this system and it preheats the water. So basically what it does, it's we have two separate circuits, the glyco I think it's called. The engine fluid passes through like a ring, and the container itself, which is a copper container, and apparently can kill all the bacteria and all that stuff, which is good. So the liquids between them, they don't touch, they don't transmit smells or content or anything like that. So yeah, they're pretty safe, and they're absolutely brilliant because that chlorifier gets to 80 degrees, which you get to combine with cold water, so we can do 22 liters, 40, maybe 45 liters of 40 degrees water, which is normal house shower. I think it's between 36 and 38 on the household. So yeah, we have like hot steaming shower in the van, which is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it works fine, works well, never had an issue. I'm pretty sure I've seen this system installed on another fellow YouTuber. Can't mind his name right now, but I will look and I'll put it right down below. And his system, I think he installed his system on a motorhome and it worked the same. I think his cylinder was a bit like 10 liters or 15 liters, a bit slightly smaller, but he was well chuffed with it, so I'm the same. So here in the rear we have a still hot, an old motorcycle radiator which I've installed in series with the same system, so we would keep this area a bit hotter when we're driving, because usually when we get to the destination, if we don't put the heater on to blow heat to here, this area is usually very cold. So this way, once we drive an hour or two, the area is already the same as in front, so yeah, it's very nice. Over here we got an outdoor shower, which we can use the wooden tray that we got inside the actual shower. We can put it outside, and this is a normal, nothing special, right? But we have hot and cold water here, so it's absolutely fantastic. It's actually hot. Oh, look at this! Look at the smoke. Cool. So that was the water side. Now I'm just going to wrap it up and I'll show you the electric side. And that's it. All tied up. Now I'll show you how the electric shows. Stay tuned. So now we're going to present you the left hand side, which we have all the electrics. So basically it's the same as the right hand side. Remove the hang base. The only downside with this is that I cannot remove the bottom bit, but I can remove it, but it's a bit longer. It takes a bit longer because I put it on sliding rails. Ta-da! And this is the electrics. Right, so what we have here, it's our Victron MPPT. Oh, let's see if he focalizes. Maybe it doesn't. That's our solar system. Big black battery, 260 amps. Orion, a typical battery to battery charger from Victron. Pure shine inverter, 2 kilowatts. And the goodie, the Victron Servo, which we can connect to the Wi-Fi. And this bad boy here, it shows you remaining battery consumption, PV charger, the solar panel. Obviously we got no solar now because it's late. And then we have the fresh water tank, we got the LPG, and also we got the waste. This is the inside of the vehicle. Oh, the back side. We got TV there, comes down with the bed. We got another TV over there that stays there whenever the bed is coming down. So yeah, got nice wheel lights over there so we can keep our tablets, laptop, whatever it is. So this is the living space. We have a foldable table here. We adjust the bench seats. We can make them a bit less wider or narrower. We came up with this design while we were traveling, just in case we will need to load something in the middle. It's just easy as this. You lift this, push the pillow under, and we roll this. So the bench becomes slightly narrower, but the space in the middle becomes wider, so we can maybe a motorcycle loaded in, because that was the idea before the bathroom would go in, but now my motorcycle doesn't fit in because it doesn't. The flooring itself was reinforced. Ah! What could have done? Sorry, mommy. I reinforced the flooring so I would be able to sustain maybe 250 kilos bike, but obviously I'm not using it now. I put loading rails on the sides so I can strap the bike, but now, to be honest, we would use it only if we need to carry a heavy load, or maybe, I don't know, a bit of furniture that we need to tie up and whatever. Obviously I'm not going to put a bike inside, so yeah. But yeah, this is very useful. On top of our head we got the bed, which is the lift bed. We already done a video how I build it. These are the posts that are solid as anything, and never had an issue. We slept on top, bottom. We had 2 addles on top. Never had an issue. It even goes up and down with the struts. Goes up and down if you sit on it. There's no problem with that. What we have on top, it's our lift bed. It's our own system. I'm gonna click. We already done a video how I build it in the garage. It's a DIY project. I've seen a lot of YouTubers. They have this pleasure of installing it on their own van, and I think it's the best piece of kit you can have in one of these vans. The only downside with the Sprinters is because the walls are concave, it doesn't allow you to put it on the side walls, to put like straight poles. It's a pretty basic concept, but due to the shape of the van and all that, I believe the Fiat Ducatos and the Peugeot Boxsters, and they come in square boxes, which makes it way easier to install this type of beds. So we had to come up with a design that it would fit our needs. It would allow us to utilize the bottom benches as our dining area, also another double bed, because we can put them all together and build another bed, which mommy and the kids, they prefer to sleep at the bottom because it's more cozy, and daddy doesn't snore, and daddy's gonna sleep at the top. Spot on. So on our electric panel, we had to include a sort of safety protocol on, I think it's called 2-step safety protocol, which first we have a digital button that we touch, and this sends the power to the main button, the up and down button. And once we had done this, we can lower the bed, no problem whatsoever. So this is the bed down. This is the sleeping position mode. As you can see, that's enough space for the adults to sleep on top or the bottom, or it's very convenient, right? So when we build, this is the idea of the kitchen island that we're gonna have here, obviously with better material and all that stuff when we redo it. But the concept is, instead of putting a step over here or a ladder to try to climb, the same drawers that we're gonna use here, there are the steps. So basically for now, they're just normal storage with no covers, but these are the steps. So basically you put 1, 2. So once you're up, nothing else to do than relax and sleep a little bit. I'll show you the up insides. We already have lights over here. Don't know how visible they are. Yeah, it's not the best way to move around, but once you're here, it's the main purpose is to have a good nap. We got lights all over the place. The good thing about these lights, they're actually, once you hold a finger on it, they're dimmable. So instead of installing external lights, auxiliary lights, or whatever they're called, to try to put it like a reading light and all that stuff, you can actually adjust each side so you'd be like perfectly, would make sense to whoever sits in the bed. We got this beautiful Skylight, which is I think 500 per 700, that you can open and grab fresh air. Woo! Also the kids, they can climb on it whenever we're on the beach or something. They can climb on it, they can look outside. It's up to the safety mode. Yeah, and for the fresh air, it's amazing. Also comes with a fly net. and a blackout. So you can have a nanny. Well done. Now you close it. You have a safety mode that you can actually travel with this. Sky half open. It has a latch over here. I don't know if it's visible. Like for example, this latch here, you can actually lock it in place and have it like half open, which is great whenever you want to get a fresh breeze of the outside, or you want to recycle the air a little bit. That's a great opportunity. So once you're ready, obviously I don't have the pillows, they're stuck in the front. Once you're ready to sleep, you just do this. Boop. 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 Oh yeah, because I already have these lights on the door. There's a lot of lights. Ooh, darkness. Good night.